What's good, Chiefs Kingdom, and welcome back to the Water Boys channel. As today I got another dream scenario for free agency that has just popped up, and of course I had to dive right into it and analyze any aspect with it. But before we do dive into that as well, please be sure to subscribe to the channel because I will have daily videos regarding the Kansas City Chiefs. Where else can you find that on YouTube? I will dive into anything Kansas City Chiefs related throughout this offseason, throughout training camp, throughout draft season, going into the 2022 NFL season. So you do not want to miss out on any of that. And without further ado, let's dive into Za'Darius Smith. It's funny how this offseason works out because I'm preparing another video, and of course we basically got our first Kansas City Chiefs rumors diving into this 2022 offseason. I've been making a lot of videos on who the Chiefs might look for, who they might look at, and if there's any trade rumors, free agency rumors, and we got our first one, and it was Zadarius Smith. So it looks like the Kansas City Chiefs might be interested in him if the Green Bay Packers do release him, and it's looking like it might lean that way. Right now they're looking for trade partners because that cap hit for Zadarius Smith this upcoming season will be $27 million, which will be a huge hit, and it looks like Green Bay doesn't want to pay that, which I don't blame them as well, because even on your most elite pass rushers, you don't want to pay that huge of hit, and they can't restructure because they restructured the prior season to push most of it into this upcoming season. So now they're forced in either trading or just straight up releasing. And how did we get here? Well, as a lot of you may know, and if you don't, Zadarius Smith, he had back surgery this following season, so he only played one game, had one tackle, no sacks, so it does hurt his production, and you don't want to pay someone definitely with coming off of surgery a $27 million hit. But again, can Zadarius Smith live up to that potential that he was? And let's remember, signing into Green Bay, he's had solid back-to-back years. One season of a 12 and a half sack season, and then the other season of a 13 and a half season sack. So he can put out the production. Of course, the scary thing will be is like, will he be that same pass rusher following a back surgery, which KC is all too familiar with this with the D Ford. But D Ford only had one good year. Even in Baltimore as well. Zadarius Smith had solid season, nothing double digit wise, but he was never a full-time starter. When he became a full-time starter in Green Bay, that's when he excelled. And I would love to see Zadarius Smith in this situation as well. Of course, not at a $27.5 million hit, but if you could get him from, let's say, the 15 to 18 million range, because I think that's what it's still going to cost. I still think he's going to be fairly expensive as well, because he's still an elite pass rusher, and he's a great ball rusher as well, and he's fairly young. He will turn 30 as the new year starts, but again, I think at the price point of like a Chandler Jones or a Von Miller or even a Emmanuel Ogbah, those guys as well are going to cost between the 15 and 18 million dollar range. And I think right now Zadarius Smith, when healthy, and I expect him to be healthy, is the better pass rusher. But this doesn't exclude any other team as well, because if Zadarius Smith is released, there will be other teams. Baltimore is rumored to likely to bring him home, and our rivals, the LA Chargers, are rumored to go after him. But the top three teams that seem interested will be the Kansas City Chiefs, the LA Chargers, and the Ravens. And I expect KC to be full on after Zadarius Smith if he is released, because that fits him. That fits the team perfectly, and also too, it replaces Frank Clark right away as well. I do assume that Frank Clark, when and if he is released, that it won't be a June 1st cut. I think they want all that money right now because it just doesn't make sense. Like, I get it. I don't know how it works, and let me know in the comments down below as well. I know they say $19 million if it's a June 1 cut, but does that mean? Because if they cut him right away, it's a $13 million savings. So does that mean if they cut him right away, they get the $13 million, and then when June 1 comes, they get that additional $6 million, or do they have to wait for that full $19 million? If they have to wait for that full $19 million, I assume they just disregard the June 1 cut and just cut their losses, get that $13 million, add it on to now, just so they can have more money to play with this offseason. I think that's where they go. If it is a June 1 cut and it works that way, a 13 now, 6 later, I can see that as well. But what will we do with the 6 later? June 1. Like, there are some surprising cuts that can happen after draft as well. So I could see that being into play, but right now, I just see him going for the 13 mil. I don't see Frank Clark, unfortunately, on this team going forward. As Zadarius Smith fills that in right away. And I just love the type of player Zadarius Smith is. Definitely when healthy. He brings that high-level energy that we're used to. That's what I miss. What Frank Clark, when he was a full-on baller, which he can still be, it's just I don't know if KC, again, they're in the same kind of situation that the Packers are with. That price point is just way too high for the player right now. And Zadarius Smith, when he is healthy, I love the attitude he brings. I love just the professionalism and as well the personality he brings to a team as well. He is funny. I think the personality lights with Chris Jones as well. I think they would mesh very well together too, and I think that would rejuvenate that line. And then you re-sign like a Melvin Ingram as well, and if you can bring in another every down pass rusher, because I don't know if Melvin Ingram is that every down pass rusher this stage in his career, because he's going to be 32. So 32 or 33, so he's getting up there in age, and then Zadarius Smith will be 30. But if you can sign him like a 3-year or 4-year contract and have him retire as a Chief, that would be perfect. And they say KC is full on, full trained, full head of steam for him. If he is released, I think that would make your offseason right off the go, because it's someone you didn't think they would expect to go after, and then if he hits the market, that would be surprising, and that would be solidifying the pass rush right away. But I just wanted to get this news out here for Chiefs Kingdom. I know we've seen it the day before, but of course I had to make a video on it. I'm working on another video that I think Chiefs Kingdom will be excited about. And then now I might have another video too of a potential dream scenario as well, because there's another cut that might be coming that might help the cornerback position out a lot too. And we'll have to keep our eyes open for it, because Travarius Ward, like I said, I don't expect KC to spend that much on him in this free agency, but they could. You never know. He is a solid cornerback, but if they let him walk, our cornerbacks are kind of depleted. You only got the lights of a Rashad Fenton out there as well, and a L'Jarius Sneed, and then after that, it's butt naked. You don't want a Mike Hughes back. You don't know what DeAndre Baker brings, but again, I'm going to dive into that probably tomorrow, because it's going to be interesting. I do got a video in the making, but like I said, this free agency just gets so interesting because you never know what type of news is going to break, what type of rumors KC might be looking for. And once we get closer to that March 16th and 17th range, when that period becomes open after Combine, these rumors are just going to get swirling. Teams are going to start releasing a lot of players, and KC's going to be heavily involved, and it's just exciting time to see. It's basically like Christmas before the draft season. So you guys keep your eyes tuned out as well. It's a quick video I wanted to get out on Zadarius Smith. I think he's a great fit for this team, and I think it's a surprise fit, but you let me know in the comments down below. Does that injury concern you guys, or do you feel that it's a pass rusher we need to go after? Because if he becomes available, I think he's definitely, let's see. Yeah, I think he's better than Von Miller. Chandler Jones as well. I think right now, when healthy, Za'Darius Smith is the best pass rusher available, and that's why I think KC needs to go all gas, no brakes for him. But like I said, let me know down below. You going full press for Zadarius Smith, or you say just cut your losses? I'm too concerned with this injury. But as well, like I did mention, do subscribe to this channel, because I got a lot of things coming this week. A lot of interesting videos that Chiefs Kingdom I do not want you to miss out on. And with that, I am checking out. You guys take care. Peace.